Oh, what happened? It's Friday, shenanigans. That's what's going on. We'll see who pops in here. What's Pops doing? It's my show now. My name is Joe. So, anyways, it's a Friday freestyle. For me, it's going to be Friday freestyle. Drink a little. Why not? Anyone else ever do a drink and draw? It can be fun if it's the right time. I mean, it is Friday, and I am bored, and it's kind of hot, but not super hot. So I'm inking. Hopefully some people pop in here. I'm not sure how to run this, but my name is Joe, and it's Shenanigan Friday. Not sure if people just pop in or if I got to do something. I'm still pretty new to StreamYard, so I occasionally, really late at night, try to test some stuff out, just in case I'm completely messing it up. But so this is, from what I understand, part 2 of Friday Freestyle. So if anyone's out there, it's gonna be a hodgepodge, I think, because Joe's working as far as I know, and he asked if I wanted to do this, and I said, "Hey, I ain't got nothing to do. Let's go try it out. I'm bored." So now I'm Joe, and that's how shenanigans work. Oh, you know what I need to do? I got different screens up. I'm going to go over and go over here. Hopefully I can hear me. I'm going to like this, and I'm going to share it. All right. Let me try to shrink this screen. That was too much. There we go. All right. And this screen. So hey, if anyone's out there that wants to join, let's do some gnarly drawings. I'm inking, so whatever. I have to get these done in my own head today. I'm pretty much almost done, but I'll continue. And if no one joins, I don't know stuff. At least I try. Okay, share the link. I think this is it. Copy. See, I'm learning from Joe right now. How to use this. Is that the link? How do I do that? All right, so I think I've shared the link. And all right, so I got a couple different screens open here in different browsers to try to see what's going on here. Because I am still very, very new. This is like the third or fourth time I've even tried StreamYard. Usually I would prep maybe for a couple of hours before jumping on and doing something stupid. But since it's Shenanigan Fridays and Joe asked, let's try it out. All right. Everyone's at work. All right. So hopefully that's the right link. Hopefully that's what Joe was talking about. Anyways, yeah, that's what I'm doing. This is the page I'm working on right now. This camera angle. Come on, camera. Where's cameraman? So what I am doing is going to be a submission, 4-page submission for a new Goofy comic that I just decided to do to Scout Comics, but I do not know, and you never know if people are going to like it or if they're going to be like, no, we don't want anything to do with it. Just expect the worst, pretty much. Keep on moving. So I've designed it where I'll just transfer it into Fantasy if they do not want it. So not a big, I'm not going to lose anything out of it. I'm not giving too much away because it gets really insane after this. FreeStyle Friday. For me, drink and draw just started, so we'll see how this goes. I had to turn off my fan though because it's so loud. So I might start sweating here in a little bit. Hopefully not. It's not as hot today as it has been. So yesterday I drew 6 pages in this simple style, and then I drew some extra stuff for other pages. And then today I'm just sort of inking them. I'll set it back. Here we go. So that's page 1. They only asked for 4 as far as I know. Page 2. This is page 3. Oh, this camera. I gotta get these angles down. Pretty basic stuff. It's a simple chill style, really. I like to do different styles. You know, sometimes you want to just do really simple stuff. It's fun that way. Sometimes you're in that mood. That's what this is. Don't want to think too much. Just do something simple. I'm at my computer. Normally I'd be over there at my desk. So it's a little awkward. I have a piece of cardboard here for my little table. That's what I'm doing. Overall, this page probably won't take too much longer, depending on how much I talk. Because again, it's pretty simple stuff. It's not meant to be complex. I don't want it complex. As a submission, I want it to be, you know, real basic. Because if they can understand the basic stuff that I'm doing, then they might be more open to the more complex stuff in the future. That's my philosophy on that. Plus, these types of styles are quicker. It's pretty much a guarantee that I can knock these pages out pretty easily. Freestyle Friday, guys, come on. Everyone's at work. Except me. Damn. If you don't know, my name is Joe. And this is my show. I've been goofing off all day, so actually I goof off every day. And people think I'm like serious a lot of times, but I'm not. I'm mostly just goofing off. Everything is a joke to me. What time is it? Oh, it's only 10:22 where I'm at. I can only assume that no one's going to show up. Too busy working. That's okay. I'm just drawing. What do people do on Fridays? I don't even know. I'm a at-home kind of person. Like, I don't even go out normally. So it's not something I care for myself. But I know a lot of people, Friday is like a big day, right? Go do stuff somewhere, somehow. Huh. The only person in the whole world. I have no clue if anyone's even watching this, honestly. I see a few things. I see Joe's comments. Well, maybe they're confused, Joe. Maybe they think I'm took over your your stuff. I don't know. I did. Joe's in the trunk of my car with duct tape stretched out. I'm having fun, so who cares, right? Well, come on, jump in. Come on, Armando. That's got to be a bit. You at work too? It is hot. Like, without a fan blowing on my face, it gets hot. It's hot. It's all hot. Plus, this hat doesn't help. Really, my plan today is just to knock out this last page. That's all I need. After this, I work on the pitch, just a real quick thing, and then I'll submit it. I don't know the process. I don't even make research stuff for submissions often, you know. So I have to go look into that a little bit more. My pens are slowly running low on, so I need to get some new pens. A lot of these pens are really old because I haven't been inking much. In the last year, I probably inked, I don't know, 5 or 6 pieces, 8 pieces, I don't know. Not very many. For years, that was my go-to, was ink. For like 20 years, I was in inking and drawing dudes, superhero dudes, just bulked out. And I don't know, I got burnt out. So now I just draw mostly chicks, and I do more pencils. I've been doing that for like 10 plus years, so somewhere around there, I kind of started transitioning more to things that I wasn't good at, and now I feel like I've taken such a big break from doing some of the other things that I feel like I'm not good at those now. It's a no-win situation, I think. For me, I think there's definitely better inkers out there. They have better tools. They practice better techniques. When I ink, I try stuff. I do my own thing. Always have. But there are definitely better inkers out there. I don't know if when it comes to like Fantasy, I think one of the people that could have inked it well would have been Danny Mickey. So Michael, Howdy. This my opinion on inking. I'm more of a pen guy. Not that I haven't tried some of the other things, and that I won't try them again in the future, because I've improved in my art skills since the last time I tried nibs and brushes and all that fun stuff. I don't ink a lot anymore. It's not something I really enjoy like I used to. I'm using my computer, so the camera, I can't tilt it down, which kind of sucks. When I use my phone, I can tilt stuff down, but using my computer, so this is my Apple, and this is my PC. And this is my, you probably can't see this one. This is my tablet, which I barely use these days. I still like paper guy. And honestly, tablet is really only as good as the programs you have and what you're used to. Because I had the little tablets where you couldn't see the image, and they had better programs back in the day. And I felt like I got, some really cool colors out of those and some good pieces. But then I moved to this so I could draw and see the image. But I'm not impressed, honestly. I still prefer paper. Meanwhile, anything going on today? Anybody? I'm the kind of guy that takes a lot of breaks. Unlike Todd McFarlane, who draws nonstop 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. For those that don't know, I've been messing with Todd McFarlane for like 13 years. Like, I think 2008, 2009, 2007, 8, 9, I was getting warmed up. And it's just, here I am still messing with it, dude. Anyways, what's new in comics? Anybody know? I haven't bought a comic in years. Well, people don't like me. I don't know. It's tough being Joe. I figure I'll give it another, we'll say till like 45, 50 after, something like that. And if no one's on here, then I'm out. I'm going to go do what I do. It was worth a shot, But sometimes things don't work out. Fridays are weird. I've noticed that over the years. I did watch some of the Todd stuff. I don't know if I haven't seen the documentary, but watched some of his interviews. I think Todd should go find some new talent, personally. Oh, trying to think what's on my mind. What's been going on today? But I've been pretty much my head down most of the day. Had some stuff, listening to people's live streams and whatnot. Been trying to do more of that as I work. But other than that, I don't know what's going on. I don't know if we still have anything going on out there. I'm just rambling. I don't know. But yeah, buddy. I have to start being a little more simple. Starting to go back to my fantasy ways. And on this piece, it's not required. So. I got you, Joe. It's just Joe and Joe today. That's what's going on. Actually, even yesterday was really quiet. When I was posting and stuff, yeah, no one was around. So, I don't know. Some weeks are like that. I've noticed that over the years. I mean, you see kind of a trend, usually. People don't know who I am. They're like, what happened to Joe? Oh, it's getting hot. I'm probably going to call it quits here in a second. Ah, somebody.
Hey guys, what's going on?
Not much. How are you doing, Armando?
I'm doing well. Doing well.
What you got going on tonight?
Well, first I'm going to attempt to organize my workstation a little bit. It got kind of disrupted. And I don't know. I might do some drawing. I've been I ordered these sample pages. Well, I thought they were going to be pages from Brett Booth, but they ended up being one page. So I don't know if I'll get to ink that, but.
Good old Brett Booth. I've never inked one of his, so I don't know.
Stuff's pretty intense. I mean, he's not normally like one of my favorite, but he on the Eon website, the paper,
Uh-huh.
they were offering samples to order of his pencils. So I said, well, let me try the paper out while having some sample work. So I like it so far.
So when you order it, like how much do they charge them to get a sample?
So I was under the impression that it was multiple pages, but I guess it's just one page for $10, which is not bad.
So looking at the page, are you thinking it's going to be tough, or do you think it's
Oh
going
yeah,
to?
see, these are the you can't see because of blue lines, but here's the pencils.
Oh yeah, that'll be fun.
Yeah, so it'll be fun to try a lot of different stuff on there.
What do you ink with? What's
Um,
your go-to?
I just use regular. I've been liking these Molotov black liners. These right here are pretty cool.
Right on.
Microns too, but I'm a little heavy-handed, so a lot of the microns break on me a lot of the time.
Oh yeah, same here. I'll snap the ends up.
So these are great. They're a little bit more durable, but the ink, I've got to get used to the ink flow in them because it flows out a lot. So
Yeah, sometimes I'll get pens that have like really dark blacks, and then sometimes the same exact brand will have just really washed out.
oh yeah, I feel like they'd like dump the last of the ink into the pen or something.
Yeah. They add more water. So,
What are you working on tonight?
I'm just inking this one. Let's see here. Gotta get this camera angle.
Oh wow, that looks awesome.
It's real simple style, so it's not supposed to be too impressive. It's supposed to be real quick.
Yeah, but that's still good. One of my favorite artist, Chris Samney, his style is very simple.
Yeah, I like to do it every once in a while.
He executes it very well too.
No one else wants to join us, man.
We'll just hang out.
Yeah.
I'm drinking too, so it's probably for the best.
Oh yeah.
Get pretty intense. Keep it PG as possible. So how have you been adjusting to the COVID stuff?
Yeah. I mean, I'm fine with my, staying home.
Yeah. Me too.
Overall, though, like, I don't know. I see a lot of people suffering pretty bad. So
Yeah, I think the hardest thing for me is we don't really get too crazy, but I mean we host like drinking draws and we have some small community art shows. I think that stuff kind of is what I miss the most. Not
yeah,
necessarily being able to go to like bars and stuff, but
right.
just certain interaction with people.
Yeah, I'm pretty much. I don't know. I'm your typical artist, so I like to hang out by myself and create.
I feel like there was two different artists with things that when this artist hit, when this all hit, there was the artist that, like you say, like yourself and a lot of others were like, oh yeah, it's like more time to like create and more time to catch up on things, and then there were some that it really affected because they're so used to doing shows and
Right.
selling prints and things like that, to where they kind of had to be like, oh crap, now I got to figure out another means to. But I think everybody's been pretty good about supporting artists and having online things, and of course Joe and stuff started the Comic Cast stuff. That's really cool.
Yeah. Yeah. COVID's given me a chance to kind of get back into comics and meet new people and branch out.
Heck yeah, man.
So in my spare time, I've been trying to catch up and just say hi to people for what it's worth.
Oh yeah, for sure. Most definitely. I think everybody's just trying to find a new normal at this point.
Yeah.
So do you do mostly traditional or do you do digital stuff too?
I can do digital, but I do a different style on digital. So I don't do the same techniques I would do on paper.
Right.
And I usually use digital either for just coloring or like shirt designs, stuff like that, something simple. Because
Nice.
I use a different technique, and I don't know, it just works better in that genre, I guess.
Yeah. For sure, for sure.
So you do digital stuff as well?
Man, I'm strictly traditional. I'm barely trying to break into digital, man. I'm so Fred Flintstone when it comes to technology, which is weird because I'm a little bit younger than a lot of people, but I just never got into it, man. I've always been traditional. I think I remember my parents like getting internet when I was like a senior in high school. Like
Right.
I know I didn't grow up around it. We didn't play video games. I didn't have any, so I got an iPad about a year or two ago for Father's Day, and I downloaded the Procreate, and I try to get onto it, but I think I avoid it mostly. I'm like, oh, I'll try some stuff, but then I don't ever try something. So I'm assuming I'll get into it at some point.
You're not missing anything, honestly. There's people that dedicate their whole life to go to school and everything, and they're the ones that are getting something out of it, honestly.
Yeah, I mean, and that's how I feel like. I mean, it'll really have to be the day where, people are like, we don't want traditional work anymore. Like it'll be written in stone where like, oh, we don't traditional artists are no longer, and then they'll have to be like, oh crap, now I got to learn digital.
Right.
But
Man,
what's that?
I'll play with digital, but yeah, I prefer paper any day of the week.
Dude, it's just so. It's just something about it, man. It's concrete. It's like comic books. Like I love just paper comic books.
Yeah,
like I read a story, but I just something about just collecting the paper, going to the store and
exactly
buying a copy.
Like I would never buy a digital comic.
Yeah. So what have you guys been talking about before I jumped on? Anything exciting or?
No, it's pretty much just rambling to myself.
Yeah, I know. It's always I used to go live quite often on my own personal accounts and would have quite a few people. But I'm just so sporadic when I work. Sometimes it'll be like 4 a.m. And so I'm sure people, when they see that notification, they're like, oh, this guy again? Like,
I don't know. I've seen it up a few times to like 4 or 5 chatting with people. Just reading. And it's kind of amazing. I think there's more activity overall.
Yeah, I kind of feel. Yeah, I guess that's true. But
we need more people on here.
I'm sure everybody's watching the Comic-Con live stuff. I know a lot of people are streaming for that, and I know a lot of artists are online too.
Yeah, for the most part, it's not interesting to me unless it's someone I'm really interested in seeing. But.
Yeah. Today I just had it playing. I know that because they're doing most of it live, but like but then I think they're releasing some of it on YouTube as it goes on. The people who have missed it and stuff. So I've just been today I just played like all of yesterday's stuff on YouTube just for background noise. I think the only thing I really paid attention to, that we were talking about a Blade Runner comic, and there was some kind of other panel, I think.
So what kind of comics do you like? What are your go-to?
Oh man, so like I have a massive collection. I was into comics when I was younger, just from my dad's collection and then new stuff. But man, yeah, I like any kind of horror. I like classic Submariner stuff like this. I mean, I was just unboxing these and putting them up, but I mean, Hulk and just I literally my collection. I've got weird stuff in here, stuff that I don't even remember buying. I'm like, where did this come from? Like, but yeah, I mean, I'm into anything as long as I dig the story and the art, and even not then, I still might reread it. Or I was telling my wife today because she owns an antique mall, and she was like, "Well, I have." She's like, "I just got some open spaces that I need to fill, and they won't fill till like October." And I was like, "Well, why don't we just like sell some of my books that way, make some space?" And I'm getting into a lot of art books now and a lot of novels, buying a lot of novels and stuff.
I love antique malls.
Yeah, she's got a big one, man. It's kind of weird now because now that like this paranormal stuff's happening there, and so she hired like this one of the vendors there is like into paranormal stuff, and they checked it out. And it's kind of I don't say I don't believe in that stuff, but all the facts that they're telling me and everything synced up, it's kind of like, oh god.
Well, you got all that stuff in there, man. No telling.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I love going to antique malls, and I always look for baseball cards.
Oh man. So we have my local comic book shop. They actually have a booth there too. But the guy that runs it, he's into comics, but he's a lot big into sports too. So he has a lot of baseball cards that he has up there and stuff. It's pretty neat.
Yeah, I'm not even really into sports. It's weird. It's more of a childhood memory thing.
A childhood thing. Yeah, man. That's those things. My dad would tell me he wasn't even into baseball anyway. He'd be like, yeah, we would just go pick them up just to pick them up, and
Yeah, I don't think I've followed sports since like, I don't know, 95, 98, something like that.
Yeah. I mean, it's hard nowadays because, I mean, everything's so like free agent. So it's like, one season somebody's playing for somebody, the next they're playing for the, it's like, can't keep up.
Yeah, I wonder how they're doing right now. I haven't even looked.
Yeah, my buddy, I just tuned into, he's doing a basketball podcast. He was telling me how I think they're just kind of winging it and letting players play if they want to play. But
I guess they have to, right?
yeah, it's like,
what are you gonna do?
And I think they're condensing, like they're trying to. I think they're doing it to where they're going to, instead of having like, they're going to have back-to-back games to where they can get the season over with as fast as possible, as opposed to like spreading it out and having it drag on, I guess. But I mean, I really don't know how it's going to work. I don't know how any of this is going to work. I don't know where you're from. I'm from Texas.
Yeah, I'm in Texas.
Oh, okay. Oh yeah, Austin, right?
Yeah.
Oh, okay, yeah. You were in the last one. Cool. I was like trying to remember. Okay, yeah. Cool. Yeah, you know how things are here. We don't know. People just wear a mask, don't wear a mask.
Yeah.
Like changes every day. You wake up and there's like something new. But
Yeah, who's in charge?
exactly. I mean, yeah, essentially, it's like Jesus. I get it, man. share this. Let me get my.
Friday night,
Raging it up.
living the dream.
Raging it up, man. You know what I don't miss? All this COVID stuff. I was thinking about it. I don't miss the movies. Like, at first I was like, man, I miss going to the movies. But then once we like dove into it, we ordered all the streaming stuff. We subscribed, and like we started buying movies, and we're like, you know what, man? It's like with us and the kids, it's like $80 to go to the movies.
Ooh.
With snacks and tickets to sit in a dirty theater, possibly next to people who are loud and like, on their phones, to where we could just be at home and like hanging out,
Yeah, I think I've been to the movies maybe twice in the last 6-7 years.
Yeah, man. And like, honestly, we only take the kids to see like the kids movies or like Avengers or like whatever's like, cool coming that they want to see. But all right, cool.
Yeah, I usually just wait for everything to come out on like Netflix or something. Then I'll watch it.
Okay, here goes some people. Let's see. Corey Del Guardiola says, guys doing tonight? Oh, Sir Lester Armando, what's up, man? Let's see. Everybody was going crazy over Garbage Pail Kids cards. Oh, those things used to freak me out, man. Garbage Pail Kids.
I still have some of them.
Oh, dude, that used to give me the heebie-jeebies. Phil's on here. Any artist can get on, or viewers. Yeah, anybody can get on and show art. If we're on here for a while, I'll probably be doing some art in a little bit after I get this workstation organized. Turn the camera around.
I wish I could point my camera down, but I can't. So.
Wow, that's crazy. I didn't know I did this. I turned the volume off, and like my iPad has subtitles. That's crazy. Yeah, I don't know technology, man. I'm just like, what's up, Phil? Phil says, how's it going, Shiloh Armando? Doing good. Just trying to.
Friday.
It's Friday.
Yeah.
Can't even say it's the weekend anymore because every day feels like the weekend.
Yeah, every day's Friday. Whereas I used to say every day's a Monday.
Oh yeah, Monday. There you go. That's more realistic. I was wondering, Celeste says, I was wondering if you were going to blow the guy's mind with some new artwork, Armando. Yeah, I might. I caught up on all my DC submissions and stuff, and I got to work on some commissions. I mean, my DC, yeah. So now I have to work on commission. So I will see. Might doodle here in a little bit. I gotta fix this first because I'm not. Let's see. What can we? Have you guys? Any of you guys on here been watching the Comic-Con um, live streaming San Diego? We went. We went to the actual one. I think like 2 years ago. Um, and it was too much, man. It was overwhelming, and I love going to conventions. Like, I like going just as a not just as a an artist, but also just sometimes I'll just go as a an attendee. And I was really excited. I was like, oh man, this is the big one, San Diego. Everything's gonna be there. It's gonna be, oh man, it was just, and we only got 2-day tickets because getting tickets is a hassle in itself. Like
The last con I went to, I went as an attendee, and I spent 3 hours just to get into the door. So I was like, okay, I'm not gonna be doing this for a while.
wow,
Yeah, those here in Austin.
that's crazy. I know at this one I was worried about that, but they had so many entrances and so many like checkpoints. It was actually pretty easy.
That's good because I can't stand staying in line.
But it was like once you got in there, you were just bombarded with like stuff, man. Just literally everywhere you turned there was something.
Yeah.
There was like these little crawl spaces of like where there was just a wall and like about 6 or 7 feet of concrete go outwards that people would just huddle in because that was a break from all the like tables. Like so people they'd see like, oh, there it is, let's go chill over there, like, oh, charge my phone and sit and but yeah, I recommend at least going at least once if you can. It's pretty intense. Like it's pretty cool. And my wife says she's pretty sure that she got a picture with Mark Hamill because
that's cool.
Yeah, there was a stormtrooper at this random Star Wars booth, and it was really awkward. It was just like a Star Wars booth with like a Chewie statue, like a Chewie, like big furry Chewie statue kind of thing, where you could like take pictures and stuff. And like the second day we went, like this stormtrooper was there, and he was just like kind of like just off to the side, not doing anything. Like he wasn't interacting with anybody. So my wife went up and was like, "Hey, can I get a picture with you?" And he was like, he didn't say anything. He was just like nod his head, and he was like real like presentable and like took the picture. And we were like, "Thank you." And he was like, and then the next day, Mark Hamill posted and was like, "I don't know if anybody noticed, but I was the stormtrooper like at Star Wars booth." So we're pretty sure it was him. I was like, "Dang, we should have asked him."
So next time I see a stormtrooper,
do it, man. Be like, I'm gonna need you to take your helmet off right now.
Yeah. You have to use the force.
Yeah. But it was cool, man. There was a lot of those like celebrities just walking around, like enjoying it also. Man, it was cool. The crazy part is the people that go for Hall H, which is like the movie stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So when we were leaving, because we stayed it's like from open to close. When we were leaving, we saw this huge line that was like people were like had sleeping bags and tents all the way out to a dock on the ocean where and there was a Joe's Crab Shack there, and there was all the way over there and like we went to go eat there, and they had people in there just sitting on the floor and stuff. I asked the waitress, I was like, "Is this normal?" She's like, "Yeah, they're waiting for Comic-Con." So I asked one of the persons, like, "What are y'all in line for? I thought the con was over." He's like, "Oh no, we're in line for tomorrow for Hall H." Like, I was like, "Holy crap!" That's
I don't think I would ever camp out for anything.
Yeah. Maybe in my younger days, but let's see. So Lester says, "You're right about traditional, though. There wouldn't even be comics at all without traditional art." Yeah, that's true. I mean, I don't really think they had much of an option though. There wasn't really technology.
Right.
So you got to give credit to the guys that invented technology because now you can put out a comic a lot faster with digital and you know sending files over instead of mailing them. You know,
Definitely some perks with technology.
yeah. I think it's all interchangeable, interactable. There's pros and cons to everything for sure. What kind of stuff do you like to read, Tyler?
I actually don't really. I've never really read comics or anything.
Uh huh.
I usually just read nonfiction, like educational stuff. That's my go-to.
Oh, cool.
So I read one novel when I was younger. That was Jurassic Park, and I've read bits and pieces of other things. But yeah, I'm more of a textbook kind of guy, I guess.
That's cool, man. I mean, there's definitely appeal to that kind of stuff. I was into that stuff too. My dad was he was an art major and he was like really big into history buff and stuff. So, man, there was like all kinds of documentaries. Man, I was watching at like 5 years old and stuff, which I enjoyed them. And so, see, Phil says digital is a tool just like a brush or pen. Yep, very true, very true. And like I don't know, I figured it out when I downloaded Procreate that like you can like buy packets of brushes, and I mean it's so easy to just change them out with your touch of your eye pencil than to like find a whole new utensil in your drawer. That's very convenient. See, Lester says, "Yeah, I remember the horror stories of Neil Adams talked about losing a portfolio full of pages one time." Oh yeah, oh yeah, that's crazy. That's
That's
crazy. Phil says, "Holy crap, it's Ray. How goes it, man? Hi Ray, wherever you are. Can't see it." I better get this. I better get my charger before my phone dies. Joe says, "I barely ever wash my brushes. I'm constantly just breaking it and dipping it." In. Oh, dude, this sits here for like I don't know, like a month with all this ink and brush. Like you just sit here for a month. It's all gooey and nasty, and but I need to be better at washing my brushes too. Saint Phil said, "Let's see." Celeste says, "I admit to not knowing you could upload comic pages and digitally inking first." Yeah, I didn't. I mean, I still don't know how that. I mean, I know like the layers and stuff of digital, but like I still don't know how a lot of that stuff works. Phil says, "Same in Photoshop. I have a giant collection of brushes and quill to simulate any traditional tool." Yeah, I mean, it's just all for a feel of it. You get used to it. That's why you have like any artist is interchangeable. While I've never used digital, I have a couple of pieces on there that are pretty good for me just diving into digital. And then you have artists that are digital who can pick up a pencil and make something good with traditional stuff. It's getting that muscle memory of using everything. Joe laughed. Joe sent the laugh emoji. Joe Tolliver. That sucks, Joe Tolliver. So Joe was in, I think, Korea for the longest. Like that sucks. He comes back to the U.S. and then COVID hits. That's gotta suck, man. Oh, finally we get to go travel and do all the American stuff, and then
Yeah, that does suck.
that's terrible. That's like we have friends here. They opened their business in I think like February, and then and then March hit, and they're like, oh crap.
Oh man.
Thanks guys for getting on. This is great. Thank you, Joe, for having us, man. Doing this. This is awesome.
Yeah, thanks, Joe.
It's always fun to interact with people. I think that's the most important thing right now with everything is to try to keep, not going loony.
Don't try to fight.
Now I'm in the field all the time. Don't have to go to cons. And it kicks her butt. But this is great, yeah. Oh yes, Lester. He says you have a good point about technology, and going back to Neil, you could upload your work on a USB now instead of lugging around pages and sketches. Oh, for sure. Can you imagine, like, we need this 30-page book sent to headquarters to have it inked, and you live somewhere else and you have to like mail it, or if you live there, you drag it to the office. Big old briefcase of stuff.
And then if something happens to it,
Yeah, and then something happens to it, you get there, you're like, But also the downside too of digitally, why you having that ability. I mean, there you can't take it to cons and be like, here's my original page of,
yeah, I make more money on originals than I do on prints. So drawn on paper is like number one for me.
Yeah. Okay, Joe asked, are you guys tracking what is going on with Upper Deck? No, Joe, I'm not. Could you inform me, please? Because I've gotten like 6 emails from them, and I don't know what's going on. So, like, I keep getting these different emails of stuff. So if you could let me know, that'd be great. They want you to be a business to work with them. See, that's what I heard. They said you have to have a business ID number in one of their emails.
So that's weird.
Yeah, because it's not really freelance work at that point.
Do they just need you to have like a local business ID number, or
That's what I'm thinking. I mean, that's what it said in the email.
Go get one at the courthouse?
Which, I mean, I just use my wife's all the time for her antique mall. I don't even bother with none of that other stuff. Which is probably shady, but oh well. What are you gonna do? Gonna take me to court? I don't got any money. You're gonna be shit out of luck paying fees.
You usually have to make a lot of money before it's even court worthy, anyways.
Yeah. I could be a good. Joe says California law changed, so now you can't work for them if you don't have an official business. So that may be a good thing, since by scam, they might scam you out of crazy work for almost nothing. The cards I don't think are too much work, but I've seen like some of my cards get rejected in the way it's supposed to, like in the contract. Like if your cards get rejected, then you don't get paid for it, but also they don't get used. So I've seen a lot of my cards get rejected, but then they pop on up on eBay, and it's like, okay,
That's shady.
yeah. I was like, okay, I didn't get paid for them, but also somebody's gonna make money off it. At this point, it's just, to me. I mean, at first it was. I mean, it's definitely. I was talking about this with somebody on my live feed. Is definitely do the work. It's fun. It's a good way. It's something to put on your resume. It's something to get experience with deadlines. But I mean, at some point in your in your career, as you start progressing, it's just gonna be gas money at the point. So, but yeah, no, that's great. Now, don't get me wrong. You can definitely, there's a market for it, and you can definitely stand out. And then eventually, maybe you could get some work with them on like their, like their card games or board games, or you could actually be a like actual, um, have your work on actual like cards, as far as opposed to like the sketch cards. So definitely not knocking it. Um, and there is a market for it. I mean, I'm in a part of that group on Facebook, and those guys are just so intense about it. Like they're just so but that's cool though. I mean, I guess that's good. Yeah, it can. I feel like with companies like that though, there's always going to be a way, and especially if you're a freelance artist, there's always going to be loopholes to where they're like, oh, this is why we can't pay you, or this is why. And at some point, you just gotta just like, well, this is part of it, and move on. But I'm hoping it turns out for the better for all the artists involved. I don't know, me personally, I don't know why they keep sending me these gigs, because I turn all my stuff in like a month late, and I I'm just nonchalant about it, and they're just like, "Do you want to do this one? Do you want to do this one?" I'm like, "Okay, I guess." But it could be because artists dropped out or whatever. It, not necessarily pertaining to my skill.
So I've seen a lot of people doing stuff for Upper Deck and whatnot. How's that work, anyways?
From what I understand is a lot of people I've talked to is you submit to them, you know, and they, then they offer you. For me, some guy contacted me on Instagram, and I thought it was a bot or you know, a troll. They were like, "Do you want to do this Marvel set?" And I was like, "Ha, okay, whatever." It's like, "What's your email?" And then they sent it to me, and I was like, "Okay." But let's see.
Is it true they give you a really long contract to sign?
It's not extremely long. There's a lot of the first one that you get is just tells you have to sign, you have to do what the contract that they send you says, and it tells you have to do it on time. You have to do all the then when you say, okay, I want to do this project, and you sign it and send it, which you didn't used to do that. You used to, like, in your email, just be like, yeah, this is my info, I agree to this, and they just send you the stuff. But once you sign it and they send you a packet of, like, for instance, if it's a Marvel one, it's like, you can't do this character, you can't do, guns, you can't do violence, you can't do, this, that. It's a bunch of stipulations. Like, I got a Punisher set that was like from the Netflix show Punisher, and I didn't do it because it was like it has to have no actor likenesses, but draw from the Punisher Netflix series. So I was like, okay. So I emailed them. I was like, hey, I was just wanting to clarify. So I can't, do any likenesses. And they're like, yeah, okay. So can I just draw characters from the Punisher comic, like different villains and stuff? And they were like, no, we'd rather it be from the TV show. And I was like, okay, well, there's only like one season, so who am I supposed to go stand in number 4? You know, John Berthold stunt double. I don't know who am I supposed to draw. Like,
Straw chair.
yeah, draw a chair. Like this was in scene 5 in the background, but yeah. So I just was like, all right. So I just didn't do it. But let's see. Joe says, yeah, I jumped on it about a month ago. I have the annual deck, and I just did an anime. Says they sent me an annual, and I never signed my contract. Oh no. See, Sir Lester says I've gotten pulled into the sketch card aspects right now. It's super fun. Like there's a lot of people that connected. Sean, what's up, dog?
What's up?
It's Sean Mendoza over there rocking it in the Cubridge School.
It's not really a big deal, but I just go there.
Yeah, he goes there. It's the next big thing.
Yeah.
What's up, man? What are you working on?
Oh, you saw the pieces I put on Facebook, right?
Yeah, they look good.
Yeah, I gave up on Wildcat because it was driving me insane, so I did it instead. I went through like 7 different poses, but I wasn't happy with any of them, so I just did what I felt like would be better.
Sometimes that happens, man. That happens to me quite often.
Yeah.
I'm just like, fuck it, I'm not doing this.
Yeah, I get you, man. Yeah. So how you doing, man?
I'm doing great, man. I'm sitting here chilling with Shiloh. We're talking about different jobs and upper deck.
Yeah.
Pitch cards.
Dope.
Joe says, hey, widescreen Shiloh, please. I don't know what that means.
I gotta look at the comments. Hold on.
Yeah, I'm looking at them on my iPad. Joe says, seeing a lot of improvements in your line work, Sean.
What happened?
Joe Tolliver says, seeing a lot of improvement in your line work.
Yeah, I so one of my teachers was like, and also from Elliot when I went to Comic-Con earlier this year.
Yeah.
He told I was kind of studying the way he does his line work as well as other people, and what I realized was like I used to when I started inking my art, I guess I was doing it really, really sketchy, like as in like it was like it wouldn't be like clean at all. And then I guess after seeing Elliot and a bunch of other people, I just started doing like faster motions to get like one of those like quick, easy lines, and then just like take my time instead of like rushing through the whole thing. I guess.
Yeah, man.
Yeah. So.
Well, that's good, man. Can you tell a difference?
And then line work from back then, or
yeah.
I mean, like there's a whole lot of difference. Because I didn't know what proper inking was back then, and I thought that everything that you inked was like it had to be done quickly, or like it had to be done like within like a certain amount of time. Because when I got introduced to comic book art, it was I was watching a bunch of these Jim Lee videos of him doing those like drawings at conventions. And, like I thought, oh, if I can draw quickly, maybe I can ink quickly, and I realized that wasn't the case.
Yeah, I know. And sometimes you definitely have to take that. Like I'm doing that now. Like so, I'm inking Brett Booth's pencils of this.
Yeah.
And so I'm having to switch up my normal kind of inking.
Yeah.
There's not a lot on there, but I'm just. I'm playing around with it. That's part of doing it.
I'm actually working on just so I can pull it up real quick. I'm actually working on something. So there's a cover that Jim Lee posted of the Flash on his Twitter, and I downloaded it a while ago, and I'm actually kind of working on digitally inking it right now.
Oh, cool, man! Nice.
Yeah. I'm just trying to take it like slow because his lines are really, really difficult to follow up on like your Scott
Yeah,
Williams or something.
and I feel like also too his pencils are a lot more relaxed from when he started because him and Scott Williams have been working together for so long that Scott kind of can anticipate what his pencils are trying to convey and stuff to where he can just he wants me to do this even though this line is here.
Yeah, man. Yeah. Oh, and I've also been like ever since school ended, I've been trying to practice up with some of my like anatomy and stuff.
Yeah.
I know it's like because last year it was like I'm not gonna lie, I kind of fell asleep a couple times during anatomy class. And if any of my teachers are watching it, I'm sorry to like explain that.
It happens, man.
Because it was
happens. I want to sleep in class.
Yeah, it was because most of the time it was like well we'd always start off the class by explaining what part of the body we were doing or like what bones we were doing.
Right.
And then it was like us for like the rest of the time being, or like an hour and a half remaining of class of us drawing like gestures.
Yeah.
And like it was me standing up with like charcoal in my hand, waving my hand around like this for the remainder of an hour and a half. And there were times where where like I when I went to go, we had like 5 minute breaks. I'd go into the cafe area and just like sleep on the couch there and then come back at like 30 minutes before before the class ended.
Yeah.
So that's how things were when I was like just doing all those classes. But I gotta admit I learned a lot from.
That's what you have to do when you I feel when you're in art school is try to take what you can from it and apply it, and if it doesn't work, that's fine. But if you get caught up, or if you have a teacher that's hell bent on you doing it, the art school way, which the Joe Kubert school is probably, you should probably take a lot more advice than because they're ideal for comics, but like regular art school or like art classes that I took, when I was doing drawing one, I didn't want to sit 4 hours in a class and draw circles, for a whole class period.
But yeah, I get what you mean. But so like for me, it's just like the school. It taught me a lot from what like I didn't know, and like of course I've improved within like the year, and like my anatomy has drastically become better since my senior year of high school.
That's
so
great,
it's definitely like it was definitely worth my time.
Dude, and you're super young, man. Like you have all the time in the world to get better and to formulate your style and what you want to be in the industry. Like, for me it's crunch time. I'm like I gotta make it or break it. I've got to do it 12 hours a day or it's not gonna work.
Yeah. But other than that, I want to bring up the topic San Diego Comic-Con.
Okay, cool. Yeah. Let's talk about it.
I know it was your first year in 2018, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, and then my first year was the year after that.
Yeah, that's crazy, right?
Yeah. So dude, the artist alley was so small when I went there.
It was, man. So when I went, I was expecting it to be insane artist alley, like massive and couldn't get anywhere. But it was actually, while it was small, it was still easy accessible to get to the artist, to see everybody. The big booths are what was, people were piling up to see,
Dude, when me and my parents came home, when we came back to New Jersey from California, we had to buy extra luggage because of how many of the things I got from San Diego Comic-Con. Yeah. Considering like I took every free thing that was in every booth that existed. And you know the book that Jim Lee did. You know the book that Jim Lee did that I have, like the book that he
Oh
did.
yeah.
Yeah. On the Sunday, which was the last day, I went up to the area where they were giving out bags, right?
Yeah.
And they had a pile. They had like 2 piles of those books, right? I
Mhm.
grabbed all of them and I took it for myself, and they were like, well, "Yeah, go ahead, take it." And I was like, "Yes, eBay."
I
But
gotta pay for
no,
college,
I
man.
still have them upstairs. It's just
Yeah. I get
they
it.
were just like they're like it was like I went to New York Comic. I went to San Diego on its 50th anniversary, and like that book was it's legendary. I even got it signed by Jim Lee. Like
That's awesome, man.
that's like a iconic thing, and like
That's
it's
so
worth a
crazy. I'm
lot.
so jelly, dude. I'm so jelly, man.
Dude,
I
if
have
you
I have
ever
tons of stuff by him, like signed, but nothing by Jim Lee.
yeah no, but like yeah, I know how you feel. But no, because I if you're still gonna send me that swamp thing that you did for me, I was gonna send you one of the books that I have back to
Oh
you.
yeah, man. I mean, whatever you want. If you want to draw something or whatever
I
you want to
would.
do, dude.
I remember you asked me to draw something, but I never got to it because I was so busy.
No, that's all right, dude. It's
Yeah.
fine if you'd rather draw me something, or I'm not in a hurry. I'm gonna send your swamp thing out Monday though, so
Okay.
it'll be
Cool.
out Monday, and I'll hit you up with tracking. Let's see. Joe asked, "Are you thinking of about doing a full?" Oh, ours. Joe Kubert thinking about doing a full online college.
They did. They are doing that. It's like a full. It's like I think and Joe, if you go onto their Facebook page, they actually have like they have classes that you can do online because when I went there, they said that they're going to start expanding out to international students that came
Oh,
in last year
nice.
because of like COVID and
Right.
the borders being closed. So they're
Yeah,
like extending all those they're extending the online class for people who can't come inside because of
that's really
border
good.
closure.
And then Joe asked, "Who are you submitting to, Armando?" I submitted to Valiant, and I'm submitting to DC, and that's it right now. Whoever calls for more submissions, I'll submit. But
Yeah.
other than that, I'm just working on personal stuff. I submitted to Dark Horse, never heard back from them.
Uh,
I don't know if I've ever looked into submitting the image, but I think they're pretty fly by your pants kind of thing submissions. You just
yeah.
they're more looking for, I think, like stories and stuff. But
You heard about the thing with Tom King and Jay Lee?
yeah,
Dude,
so
that's fucked up right there.
here's my take on it. Like,
Sorry for swearing. Sorry.
sorry. Uh, let's see. Awesome, Sean. Why not heavy metal? Actually, I'm actually thinking of submitting to heavy metal. The guy that's doing our lettering for our book, he's in Mexico, and he has done some work for them. So, kind of recommended me and Danny for it and stuff.
Oh, cool.
So we'll see. We'll see if I can come up with anything or whatever. But yeah, the daily thing. I think Tom King was very abrupt in making an assumption.
Yeah, he was.
But I think he handled it right. He reached out to Jay Lee and they talked about it, and he kind of came on and said, hey, he wasn't aware of the situation, and kind of I don't think he needed to apologize, but he made it aware that he reached out to him, which I think is great, because he
Yeah.
could have just left it as like, we don't want him this cover on the book, so we don't care what you have to say, like, kind of thing. So
Yeah.
but I think it was very abrupt of him to make a decision. But at the same time, I mean, especially in today's political and social climate, things are heated, man. I mean,
Yeah.
sometimes people, I've been known for it on my personal page, jumping the gun on somebody without knowing, and I've had to go back and say, hey, man, I'm sorry, or that was too intense, or let me get back to doing art. But at the end of the day, a lot of us look at ourselves as other things before artists. We're
Yeah.
brothers, children. We're married, dads. So But I'm glad it got straightened out, and hopefully they can just move forward. I was really nervous there for a second because Jay Lee is one of my biggest inspirations, and I said, "Oh no, don't tell me!" Like But at the end of the day, it kind of he's a good, he's not into that, and that's a good thing. So
Yeah. I I met him a couple times before. He's a pretty chill dude. Like his art is very very pricey, but he's really nice. He's really cool.
I think with him, it's deserving as the sense that he did a lot of work in the 80s and 90s,
Yeah.
and I'm pretty sure it was for dirt cheap, man, because he was a part of comics that were
Mhm.
just you know, and
Yeah. Hey, Armando, you need to do yourself a favor and one year come to New York Comic Con because if you go there, I swear to God, the artist gallery will like make it look like a dream just came true for you.
yeah. Well, I was trying to get into it last year, that and C2E2, and I submitted to both, and I got waitlisted at C2E2, and then I never heard back from New York Comic Con. So maybe
Yeah,
the next time for sure. And I also have some friends that were like, "Hey, you know what, man? We'll set you up at our comic booth, and maybe you can chill out and stuff." So that would be cool too.
yeah,
Who knows how much work I'll get, in the future to where I could do that.
yeah.
Um,
And then hopefully you can meet one of your idols or your artist idols, Elliot.
what's that?
You can finally meet Elliot in person.
Oh, baby, I don't know, man. I kind of feel like he's on that Comics Gate bullshit too. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see, man. I still love his stuff. But we'll see.
Yeah,
But,
I was
yeah,
trying to.
he's been a big inspiration, man. He's a superb artist. Like the dude's,
He's amazing.
and he when I first just discovered him, it's like, man, why isn't this dude like on every comic book? Like he can draw anything almost. And the more I watch him, it's like he's more of have like a graphic design kind of background.
Yeah,
And
he
look and
is. Yeah,
background. So I kind of get that because I have friends like that too.
yeah,
But for sure.
yeah. I I was trying to get on his commission list a couple days ago. I'm still waiting back from Andy, who's his
Yeah,
art.
that's the guy that runs it, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
Who's the one person that you haven't met yet that you want to meet?
You?
Me?
Wait, who? What did you say?
Oh man, you got my hopes up. I was like, oh, me, he wants to meet me. Who's the one artist that you haven't met yet that you want to meet? Like that you haven't been able to talk to?
Oh man, I honestly, to be honest, I've met every artist that I've ever wanted to meet. I met Jim Lee, I met Todd Knock, I met Greg Capullo, I met Tom. I'm not gonna do because it's gonna feel like I'm bragging, but
No, brag, dude. Brag away. You just making me more jelly, bro.
But no, if anyone, it's probably I don't remember his name, but she did. He's one of those. He's one of the legendary artists for the Flash. I cannot remember. I can't remember his name.
Francis Manipal.
No, I met him already, but no,
Oh.
he's like one of the older.
Oh,
I can't remember his name though.
yes. Yeah, okay.
Let me see if I can. I'll see if I can find it. Hold on.
Man, so I've tried to meet Jim Lee like 10 times, and each
Oh.
time I failed miserably.
Carmine Infantino.
Oh, okay, yeah. That'd be
Yeah.
cool, man.
Yeah.
That'd be really cool.
What were you
You know
saying?
what's crazy? What's crazy is we're gonna talk about who I want to meet, but like Kevin Eastman, I have people all the time telling me they want to meet Kevin Eastman. This dude does like 20 cons in Texas a year. Like every con I go to, he's like there. And I'm just like, I'm not a big Turtle fan to begin with. We're like, oh, dude, Kevin Eastman was at your con. I'm like, yeah, he comes like every year. But if you think about it, some artists that live in certain places, it's easier for them to travel. So you don't think about them being, easy access to it. But and so I've tried to meet Jim Lee like 10 times, man, and failed miserably each time. I've just given up. Like, I'm not gonna pay $300 to get 3 books signed. Which will probably be X-Men Volume 1, where there's like 6,000 printing of it.
Yeah.
You know, so
Do you wanna know a funny Comic Con story?
Joe says you want to meet a guy named Joe. I think his last name starts with T.
Do you wanna hear a funny Comic Con story?
Yeah, man. Let's talk Comic Con stories. That'll be fun.
Okay.
I got lots of them.
Okay. This is gonna probably make you jealous, but it was like a time of meeting Jim Lee, but it was so funny. It so so it was actually this past New York Comic Con, and me and my friends were well, I was walking my friends back to the bus, going back to the Kubrick School,
Mm-hmm.
New York, and we stopped by a booth, which was I think it was Jim Lee's art rep, I think it was, and my friend stopped all of us and said, is that Jim Lee?" And I was like, "Yeah, that's Jim Lee," because we took a closer look, and so I was like, "Yo, I'm not missing this opportunity." So I, as quickly as I could, I went into my bag and I grabbed out a piece of paper. I ripped it in half, and I was like, "Someone give me a pen," and I took a picture of Jim Lee. And as fast as I could, I drew a portrait. Was like I was like, in my opinion, it was so shitty, and I whipped it out within like 5 seconds, and then I I had my autograph book with me, right? And I
Yeah.
went over to the lady and I was like, hi, I was wondering if I could just give this to Jim Lee. And then within a doubt, she just said, yes, come on in there. I'm like, what the hell? And then I was waiting there, like it was so awkward because like I was in the middle of an art rep booth and I was waiting for Jim Lee and I was watching him do his art. And so I was waiting and I was like, hey man, I remember you remember me? I met you like 3 years ago, and I just want to say thank you for being an inspiration. I was speaking like I was about to become the Flash, like speaking so quickly. I gave him the drawing, and then I asked him, "Hey, I was wondering if you could do like a little doodle in here or like sign your name." And I was like, "I'm just gonna sign my name," but it was better than nothing.
Yes. Oh my god, dude.
And
So
then
the closest time I got to meeting Jim Lee, because I've tried to get in these lines and I don't get picked, or like he has to leave or whatever, like or he didn't show up. And the one time I almost met him was like it was at WonderCon and we got there super early, and he at first he was going to be there all 3 days, but then he decided to go to the Dallas one, so he was only going to be there one day, so only had one chance. So we get there super early. We're like 40th in line. We're like, man, we're gonna get to meet him. Like this lady comes out with a microphone, one of those big megaphones. She's like, okay, since there's a lot of high demand for Jim Lee, what we're gonna do is we're gonna have you draw tickets out of a bag, and if you get the ticket with the hole punch in it, then you get to meet Jim Lee. And I'm like, oh my god, what? We're like 40th in line. Like we're supposed to just be able to meet him. So like, I guess that's kind of fair, right? So we're like, okay, cool. So it was me and two other buddies were in line, and then a guy behind me, and me and my buddies were like, okay, because there's a limit of 3 books to get signed. So I was like, if one of us gets it, then we'll take one of our comics to get signed by him, and if 2 gets it, then we'll split it up or whatever. So I'm talking about to the guy behind me, I'm like, hey man, so you excited to meet Jim Lee? He's like, yeah, I guess so. And I'm like, you guess so, dude? You're in his line, like what? I was like, what are you going to get signed? He's like, this X-Men, volume, #1. And I was like, yeah, that's cool. That's cool. What else? He's like, I don't know. This is the only comic I have. And I was like, are you into comics? And he's like, no, I just like the X-Men TV show. And I remember getting this comic because, and I was like, so you just came to a Comic-Con randomly? He's like, yeah, I live here. And me and my wife just had a baby. And she let me take a break for the weekend. So I saw this Comic-Con was going on in town. So I decided to stop by. I was like, what? So I'm like, okay. So he was a nice enough guy. Dude, tell me why this dude got the ticket. None of my buddies got it. And this guy goes, hey, look, I got it. I'm like, oh my God. So we were all super cool about it. I was like, you know what, man, here, just you got to take 3 other books. So I gave him like 2 books to take with him. I was like, take these 2 and get them signed. And he was really cool. And I ran into him in the bathroom later on in the con. I was like, hey, man, what's up? And he's like, hey, how's it going? I was like, so you got my books? You got my Jim Lee signatures? And he's like, what? And I was like, I'm just joking with you, man. It's cool. I was like, we talked about it. He's like, yeah, it's really nice and stuff. But and then later on, me and my buddy, like we've been tracking Jim for a long time. My buddy messages me because he lives in California, my buddy, and he was like, hey man, we're at this restaurant where they do magic. And I'm like, oh, that's cool. He's like, I'm really hammered right now, but I need you to tell me if this is Jim Lee. And I'm like, oh my God. So he like can't take a picture because he's so drunk. Like the pictures are blurry and it's dark. And he's like, dude, I can't. I'm pretty sure it's Jim Lee. And it turned out to be him. And so my buddy got to meet him and say like, hey, what's up? I was like, no.
That's one of the greatest stories ever told.
We have a lot of funny ones, man. I have a lot of funny con stories.
Oh, man.
We were in line. We were in line. This is a funny one too. We were in line for Rob Liefeld, right? Not me, my buddies, and they were getting some, I don't know, New Mutants 98 or whatever sign.
Yeah.
And we're standing there, and the guy's like, "Are you in line?" I'm like, "No, I'm just chilling with them. Is that cool? Is that all right?" So it's our turn to go up to get Rob to sign something, and I hear my buddy go, "Oh shit!" like really loud, like. And I turn around and there's Geoff Johns just walking around, drinking, like looking at statues, drinking a Dr. Pepper. And I'm like, holy crap. So my buddy, like, he's like, F this. He's like, hey, sorry, Rob, like grabbed his comics. Like, and Rob, he's like, I'm just gonna go take a picture with Geoff Johns real quick. And Rob was pretty cool about it. He was like, yeah, man, I get it. Priorities. Like, and so like he let him go take a picture and we talked to Josh, like, hey man, thanks and stuff. And it was really neat.
That's awesome, man.
Yeah, it's pretty cool, man. That was a fun one story too.
I could have. There was my buddy Jeff Bautista, right?
Yeah.
So I think it was in New York Comic Con 2017, and I was in line for a panel for one of the shows that I watched, and then Jeff was actually in Times Square, Midtown Comics, or a different comic shop. I can't remember. But Jim Lee and Geoff Johns were doing a signing there for Justice League Volume 1, right? So I had to make a choice. Did I want to go to the panel, or did I want to go over there to meet Jim Lee and Geoff Johns? But the thing was, he was already in line there since the morning. So I figured like it's not worth my time. I mean, because like I met Jim Lee already. But turns out going to the panel was probably the best decision I ever made, because one of the stars of the show that the panel was for, I actually got to meet her. I actually got to take a picture with her. So that was a golden opportunity, and it was one of the best days of my life, man.
Dude, that's awesome, man. Joe Tolliver says, I got to meet Kim Jong-gi in Korea. It was awesome. The guy just hung out with me for like 20 minutes, complimented my ink wash work I was doing live at my table. That's pretty cool, man. That's pretty awesome.
Hey,
how do you know that he really complimented you? Because he doesn't speak English, so did he have his translator there?
It was a translator. There was probably a translator. Because I at San Diego Comic Con, the booth was super on, right? So it was Kim Jong-gi, it was Lee Chiu, and then Carl Kopinski. It was all three of them.
Nice.
So Kim Jong-gi was the first person I got a book from, and it was his collaboration with Kit Tatsuya, I can't remember his name, but he did a collaboration book, and he did like a little doodle in there for me, obviously because he does a sketch in the books that you buy, and then I was like deciding whether I wanted to get a sketch from Carl Kopinski, or like whether I wanted to get a book, right? And so I got his book, and he did a little Thor Viking type of sketch in there, but Saturday, not Saturday, Sunday, he ran out of books, right? And he was doing $100 commissions on a 5x7 piece. Missed opportunity. You hear me? Missed opportunity. I could have gotten something that I would have liked, like a Flash or a Nightwing or Robin. Like it was a missed opportunity, and I was so mad because I had like maybe like I don't know, maybe around $400 something on me that time, and I spent it all on pretzels and iced tea and other art, and I could have just gotten one commission from him that I could have framed right now, but it was a missed opportunity because I decided not to go to the booth at the time because I didn't think that.
Corey says, when I first met Armando, we met at a drink and draw, and he did my first ever comic sketch cover. He also taught me about pocket bacon. That's Danny. Danny taught you about pocket bacon. But yeah, man, I had fun doing that sketch cover. I'm sure it's complete garbage, but I'm glad you dig it. Oh man, did Sean hop off? Got disconnected.
Guess so.
I don't know what happened.
They booted you off, man. Yeah, that's crazy. That's a pretty cool story, man.
Yeah. But regardless, I'm still happy with what I got because it's pretty dope, to see one of the cool artists that because Kim Jong-gi is such a renowned artist because he can draw anything considering from his mind and like he can draw.
I think he's like a Renaissance visionary man. Like the dude, like you say, could just from memory and just without layouts or anything, and just everything is proportionate and perspective is on point. Like it's like, why are we all trying, man? Why are we even trying?
That's insane, man.
Yeah.
I just like it's just there's so many artists out there that that they've I think they've done so much that like they can do a lot of things without having to put down basic guidelines and just like do it without the flow, I guess you could say.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Joe says Shiloh may have to talk. Yeah, we've kind of been hogging the spotlight.
No, it's fine. I'm listening. I'm doing my work. So,
have you ever met a celebrity or artist, Shiloh, or anybody, writer, anybody that renowned?
I have been to 3 Comic-Cons.
Yeah.
I met Mark Silvestri.
Oh, cool.
Top Cow guys. I met J. Scott Campbell. I was in line for Angel Medina at that one, and I was like 5 people back, and he was sketching, and I stood in line for like an hour, and I was like, "Fuck this!" But I would have gotten to meet Angel. Met Greg Capullo twice. Greg's a great guy.
Dude, now you can just comment Angel on Facebook. Like we talk all the time. Like he's super. Yeah. he just does his own thing now. Yeah. He's super cool though, man.
You wanna see one of my favorite sketches that I got from San Diego?
And J. Scott Campbell, that's a cool one too, because he's never at conventions.
He's super nice.
Yeah, oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, like, he always just has people working his booth, but he never like hardly shows up at conventions. That's pretty cool. You got to meet him.
Yeah, I almost met Joe Mad. But,
oh, cool.
I guess it was his. I don't know if it's his wife. Someone else was sitting there, so I talked to her for a little bit.
That's so crazy, man.
Armando.
What's up, man?
There's this artist that I actually want to meet one day.
Yeah.
He's a really cool guy. He has a Facebook page and it's like dedicated to a lot of comic book related stuff. He's also an artist. I actually met him through Instagram, and I think he was living in Korea at the time. he was living in Korea at the time because he works in the army, I think, if I'm correct. And you know, his name is Joe Tolliver. I want to see what Joe
Joe
says.
Tolliver. I'll have to look him up.
Yeah,
I have to look his stuff up.
yeah. He, thanks, Joe. Means a lot, man. Appreciate it.
Yeah, Joe's pretty cool, man. I met him on the Instagram too. Back when I had like 50 people. He was hyping me up when he shouldn't have been.
Yeah, I remember I met you through Jeff because you were doing like I think a giveaway for a sketch that you did a Black Manta.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, I think that's how I met you.
That's what got you following me.
Yeah.
That's cool, man.
Mhm.
It's so weird to think that one day one of us will, maybe, hopefully, be friends with a comic book artist that we know intensely.
Yeah. Yeah. It's pretty from like what I see is like, people have come a long way because this whole comic book art, this indie comics, professional comics, all this is like it's just one big community where everybody can talk about the same thing, or
yeah.
can talk about like the same, what they like, and they can also learn from one another because it's amazing how this this hobby or this professional doing can bring together so many people.
Exactly. I think it's connected a bridge because I feel like back in the day, you either were drawn for Marvel or DC, right? Like, and then maybe Image, and then later maybe Valiant or whatever. But like Kickstarters now, and like
Yeah,
I mean, you've got these people who are creating their own book, and they're able to hire like John Boy to do a cover, or they're able to hire somebody that's established in the industry to do a cover and be a part of their book, and they can say, man, I made this, and also somebody who I admire has done a cover for it.
yeah,
And that's something really cool, man. And I think a lot of the older guys appreciate that because they kind of knew how hard it was. You either like made it or you didn't. There wasn't like I can go off and create my own thing, or I'll go off and do my own project. They were just like, well, this it's either Marvel, DC, or that's it. Like, so I think they really enjoy that aspect of it too. And plus, anybody who's an artist, you always want the younger generation to pick up where you left off as far as creativity and being able to draw. No, there's no. I don't think there's a true artist or illustrator. Nobody's really vindictive of like, I don't want anybody to get rich. I don't want to, because they know like at some point, younger people are going to have to take over. And because for me, especially, even if I don't make it in bigger books or whatever, I'm still going to enjoy reading them. And it's going to be cool if you make it in comics and I can still read the books that you're putting out. Even I'm not gonna be salty because I'm gonna be like, dang, dude, this is a great story, and I know this dude that freaking made it.
Yeah.
And then I'm gonna try to cut in lines at Comic Cons and be like, yo, Sean, sign this for me, bro.
I'll just invite you to my VIP dinner.
Yeah, VIP dinner, and I'll be like, yeah, I know this dude. So,
I'll just do I'll do like a VIP dinner and I'll just like do a sketch for you and I'll be like, hey, here's a sketch for everybody.
Yeah.
I'll call Ken Lashley because he does that a lot at his conventions, and I've seen that. I've always wanted to do that with him, but it's he's one of the popular guys. I admire his work a lot.
Joe says, I can't wait for us to make it. Yeah, man, it's definitely doable. Joe says, I've got shit for followers on Instagram, but I really get to know artists well from that platform. Facebook is a much better tone. Well,
yeah,
Instagram has evolved into this like influencer kind of mentality where it's like, learn how to make cereal on this account. I do workouts. This is my workout. Whereas Facebook, it's definitely geared toward you can decide who you want to follow and what pages, and you see the same people interact. But as far as algorithms, they're all crap. Like on both Facebook and Instagram, I'll post something and literally like 2 weeks later, people are like, "Yo, dude, is it still available?" And be like, "Nah, man, I did this like 2 weeks ago. Like, it's gone."
Yeah.
So,
But the one thing that like I can't get over with Facebook is like those ads on like the videos and all that stuff. It drives me insane.
yeah,
And
I'm a sucker, dude. I'm a sucker for ads. Like at first I hated them, but now I feel like Facebook is like figuring me out. Like today they showed this template where it's one circle template, but you turn it and it adjusts the circle on the inside.
Really?
Yeah, so you literally just move it around your page and you can adjust the circle as you're making your circles instead of having
cool.
a full flat template. And I was like, oh, dude, I want this. And I was like, let me wait a little bit and do some research before I click on this Facebook ad. But
yeah.
But yeah, I get it's true. They do. They pop up ads everywhere, and because it's Wi-Fi and it's all interface, you'll walk into like a Lowe's to get something, and then the next thing you know on your Facebook, it's like, would you like to subscribe to a Lowe's card or?
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. It's on like a lot of stuff on here.
Oh, somebody knows you, Shiloh. They say, "Hey, Shiloh, Mr. Mojo Risen here."
What's up, Rod?
Raj, yeah, cool.
So what are you streaming off of right now, Armando?
I'm just using my phone.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I'm trying to find a stand for my iPad so I can like do stuff off of that bigger. I think it'd be better. But
you should get I don't know what it's called, but it's called something. It's there's something that you can put in the front of your iPad that has like it could give you a better it's like a better lens, I guess you could say.
Oh, okay, cool.
Yeah, but I'm not sure. I might be wrong because what iPad do you have? The iPad Pro?
Yeah.
Is it the new one or is it the old one?
It's an older one.
Yeah, so you might be able to use that one better because it has the old camera.
Yeah.
So yeah, that would I think that would work better.
Cool.
Yeah. So San Diego Comic-Con killed me a bit.
Let's see. Celester says John Staniski on his own personal drawing classes he has doing on his Facebook page live stream, and I bought his self-hopeless graphic novel Life Death just to actually own something of his. And I commented how his style looked just like Klaus Jensen, and it turns out John grew up learning from Klaus. That's definitely normally how it works out. I mean, anybody you see is, especially like in the 90s, I feel like that's a big thing because, Image launched and they wanted a lot of their stuff to look different from Marvel. So a lot of the guys that they hired had to draw like them and finish pages and stuff. So a lot of those people that started out, but then a lot of those guys, ended up breaking away and started their own kind of thing, like Travis Charest and
Tom McFarlane.
Well, I'm talking about the guys that came after the original six, like Travis Charest and let's see who else, like J. Scott Campbell, like he developed his own like kind of style too. After look a lot of his original stuff, it looked not like Jim Lee, but it was kind of like similar, And so, but then you have guys that get stuck in that mode of drawing that, and that's all they want. Like Tony Daniels is just a Jim Lee clone. Like it's just that's trying. You got people. John Malin is like Rob Liefeld. Like they get stuck in that. They
what surprises me a lot is that some of these artists who who actually broke away from doing certain things, or they went from doing interiors to covers, they've actually become more more popular and more well known, considering some people who haven't who are
Yeah,
still
well,
in comics.
I think a lot of it too has to be with how they branded their stuff. Like, I know if J. Scott Campbell wanted to, he could definitely do interiors. Like, but I think he wants to spend a lot more time with his family, and from what I gathered from his Instagram and stuff. And so, he just got married. I think like a couple years ago. So he's living that life, and so he's learned that he could just have fun illustrating while just doing covers, as opposed to doing interiors also. And I think that gives a lot of the impression to a lot of artists too that's what the comic industry is. It's like, oh, I'm just gonna choose to be a cover artist when it really kind of doesn't work like that, Like,
Yeah,
but it's good for people to get exclusives and things like that. And I think that's cool.
yeah,
But yeah, I think some people are perfectly happy with just doing interiors for books that aren't popular, or just inking, or just coloring, or
yeah,
so I think that's cool.
yeah. Just
But that's a good point though, that some people, they after they did that whole image thing, now they're just doing covers, or
yeah.
small stories, or
I know a lot of people that that do that do very popular covers and also do interiors. And there was one artist who did who was it um who did this one cover and also did the interiors for it. Um, and it was like a really popular comic. I can't remember what it was, but
yeah, that can happen sometimes too, man.
yeah.
So are you reading any books right now? Like
Oh,
book series?
this might hurt a bit of people, but I stopped reading comics. Oh,
No.
well, no. I catch up with a bunch of. I actually caught up with the Flash because I stopped reading it after maybe 67 issues.
Yeah.
It became more of like a chore than a necessity, to be honest.
Yeah. Sometimes it can
Um,
get that way.
so, but I caught up with it though, like with the digital stuff, and like I actually read the current issue that came out. And I'm also reading Nightwing, or as people would call it, Rick Grayson.
Rick Grayson.
Well, they took that entire storyline for almost a year and a half already, and like I needed to go back. I need you to bring back Nightwing because it's driving me insane. Because like I can't deal with that anymore. And I don't know if you read the recent issue of Nightwing, but if you, in case you haven't, I won't spoil it. But I'm just wondering if you read the recent issue.
No, I don't read Nightwing, but it won't spoil it for me.
Okay, well, but I mean, because like it's just they took it a step further. They took it a step further, and it's like I don't know how to feel about it anymore, honestly.
Dude, so I've been reading the Ablaze, Red Nails, and Queen of the Black Coast, the Conan lines, the Conan storylines, because they're doing Robert E. Howard's like actual books that he wrote, and they're putting them in the comics,
Oh
and
wow,
they're fantastic, man. Like, I love them.
I gotta
Let's
see
see.
that.
Joe says I've got two big comic storylines in writing now. About to push into my fantasy story easier, more Frank Frazetta than sci-fi perspective. Nice. So Lester says, I want the new Juggernaut with Ron Garney. That looks sick, man. Dude, I've loved Ron Garney. Like, even on that goofy Captain America run, I thought it was great. I thought his artwork was fantastic on there in the 90s, like 2000, I think. I don't know, somewhere up here. And then he says, and even the Liefeld Snake Eyes. I don't know about that, but
Yeah.
I'm not into G.I. Joe. I was never into the 80s G.I. Joe stuff. The only things I watched in the 80s was like Thundercats.
I tried reading. I read the first issue of what's that one that Rob Liefeld, Major X.
Oh, yeah.
It kind of sounded I'm not even scared if Rob Liefeld blocks me on Instagram or Twitter. But, like it just sounds like she just took it's just like it sounds like Judge Dredd and Deadpool like got together and had a baby, and that's what it is.
There was a
I'm
guy. There was an artist in like France, man, and apparently he had been working on a character, a comic that he has like the rights to and owns that like literally looks like the Major X character. Like
seriously.
yeah, and like he made this big deal on Instagram. I don't know if he probably hasn't. I mean, I don't know. Maybe he's taking it to the court. I don't know, but
Yeah.
I mean, it looks like him. And the guys he posted all these like he's been working on it since like the early 2000s, and
Damn.
I don't know. I don't know what's going on with it, but
Yeah.
yeah. So
there's
no, I did. So Lester says you didn't like Ron Garney Cap. No, I love Ron Garney Cap. That's what I'm saying. I have the whole book up here, the whole series, the trade. I love it, man. I love Ron Garney. His stuff. I think he's an underrated artist.
Ron Garney is one of the coolest dudes ever.
Dude.
Like I remember. I think was it him? Yeah, it was him. It was like I think at East Coast Comic Con. Oh no, that's someone else. My bad, not him. But no, I've heard he's a pretty cool dude. That's what I heard.
Yeah.
Do you want to hear a funny Rob Liefeld story? That like I have to bring
Go
up.
Go for it, man.
So the Titan show, right? I was at the premiere, and I don't know if you guys know this, but Rob Liefeld co-created or created Hawk and Dove for DC Comics. So he was coming out of there, and I was ready to take a picture with him, right? But then there was like this big ass bodyguard that was standing right next to him, and he was like, he took pictures with two people, and then what he did was like he was like, okay, picture, and then took his hand, shoved it in one person's face, and was like, stop, and then he went into the car, and I was like, I'm so glad I didn't get a picture with him.
Dang.
I mean,
so he just made his public appearance.
Like I switched my decision like immediately.
He made his public appearance, huh? Took his pictures for the press.
Yeah, the two people that were supposedly the press.
See, Ron Garney's Night Stalkers was my first exposure. That was good. The new Adam Kubert Wolverine was pretty cool too. Okay.
Yo, if you ever get a chance to meet Benjamin Percy, like, cause I met him at the Wolverine signing in Midtown Comics.
Mm-hmm.
The dude sounds like Chris Hemsworth.
For real?
I'm not even kidding.
Wow.
Like, when we met him, I was like, I complimented his voice because he sounded like Chris Hemsworth, and he was like, "I bring the thunder."
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know what's going on with Rob now, but hopefully he can center back to reality.
Yeah, I've heard like a bunch of things from him because like I heard like that when someone was getting him like was getting books signed by him, he was like talking to his manager or his friend, and he was like, "Oh, I can't wait to get out of here and like stop signing books for these stupid people and just get out here and party." And like, what the fuck?
Dude, I can imagine it's getting fresh. Could you imagine how much Deadpool stuff gets brought to his booth to get signed? Like,
yeah,
just people like, can you my backpack and my video game controller and my beanie and just all kinds of stuff.
Yeah.
But
Benjamin Percy is the guy who's currently writing Wolverine for Marvel, the new Wolverine series with Adam Kubert.
Yeah. Joe says the guy has been a rock star since he was 19. It's common for people to get so big so quick. Yeah. Yeah, I don't know what I'd do if I was a phenomenon at like 19.
Let's see if I can find it.
But I never got into Rob's work. Not that I never as a kid, not that I disliked it, but I never I didn't get into Youngblood and I didn't get into in the 90s I wasn't into Deadpool. Cable was cool, but I wasn't really into him.
Cable's one of like the most underrated characters. I'm just saying, in my opinion, because like the guy can do so much. Like it's just that they don't show him that much. To be honest,
So I
Well,
never, yeah,
yeah.
yeah. So I never just follow. I was never a follower of Rob. Like, never. But
Find something.
people like him. Some people really like his work, and that's good, I guess. I mean,
Yeah, people. His work nowadays is like kind of better than what he used to do before, considering like he he does a lot of good stuff, But it's just like his personality is just whack.
he said. So Lester said, "Oh wait, Rob said no Deadpool 3 script, actors, nothing. Just posted a couple days ago. Oh no, not no Deadpool. I'm trying to wait for this New Mutants to come out on Disney Plus as well. Oh, is that the Percy? No, that's Kubert and
Benjamin Percy.
Percy. Yeah, Percy and Kubert. I was trying to figure out on the left who it was. Yeah, nice. I haven't met. No, I did meet Adam. I've met both Adam and Andy. But,
Oh, you're awesome.
But
Yeah.
see, I've met Bob Layton, Adam, Andy Kubert, Jay Lee, Alex Sinclair, Ron Benjamin, Sanford Green, Richard Fran, Brian Stofries.
Stofries is amazing.
He's so awesome.
Yeah. Who's one that you've always wanted to meet?
Bill Sienkiewicz.
Wilson.
And I was gonna meet him. And I was gonna meet him at San Diego Comic Con. And I was gonna meet him at San Diego Comic Con. And the 2 times I went, he was on a bathroom break. So I went running to all the bathrooms to try to check the bathrooms.
What the hell?
Couldn't find him, man. So finally, and he was gonna be back towards the end of the show, but we just decided to leave anyway. So that's one of the dudes that I have to meet. But
Really?
no doubt about it.
His art's amazing, though. I love his art.
He's I think he's one of the ones that kind of changed comics. The idea of comics. Him, like McFarlane. As far as how to do comics, how to tell a story and how to draw panels and stuff, because other people like Jim Lee changed like the anatomy and the technique, and other people other ways, but as far as like actually visual storytelling on a page, I think Sienkiewicz goes down as one of the pioneers. I mean, something that was truly progressive. And I mean, that was, you imagine like people who thought like, man, I'll never be able to draw like Neil Adams or like so clean. And, and then here comes Bill Sienkiewicz with like, who had been drawing like Neil for a long time during Moon Knight run. And then all of a sudden comes out with like Elektra, Assassin, and New Mutants. And it's like, boom, crazy stuff, it's abstract, crazy. And I bet you a bunch of artists are like, oh my God, I can do comics now because, I have this abstract background and this,
Yeah.
So it's like Sienkiewicz.
Sienkiewicz or Sienkiewicz?
I don't know. I say Sienkiewicz. I think it's Sienkiewicz. I heard him online though. He said Sienkiewicz. I don't know. That's something I'll ask him. How do you say your name?
The W is silent in this, or does it actually have a V on this? Hold on.
Yeah. Neil was his influence. Neil's what got him into comics, and I think a lot of people got into comics because of Neil Adams.
Oh, it says it's Bill Sienkiewicz. That's what it says on Wikipedia.
Joe says, I feel like I'm the only effort in the world that doesn't like Neil Adams' work. That being said, I love his work, but I hate his character expressions.
His work is good. It's just,
have you seen like a bunch of like Neil, like non-comic stuff? Neil Adams, the way he draws comics is specific for comics. Like if he's done a lot of illustrations for like books and magazines and stuff like that. Also, was it newspaper comics, and it's a totally different style. He's one of these guys that, and I feel like he did that with comics to kind of say like, hey, this is comics are supposed to be something that's unreal, something that's not, people flying around in spandex. It's okay if they, and I kind of feel it's that way. I think his character expressions are very invoking. I mean, they're pretty intense to me. I feel like now though, maybe because he's a little older, and I mean he's super old, and he could be having arthritis problems or whatever. But
I mean, maybe it's just because like his style changed or something like that. Because
yeah,
no one ever sticks to the same style for like forever. People evolve, and but I don't know. I might be wrong, but.
But I mean, a lot of artists have said that there's only like two people who can draw noses in comics, and he's one of them.
Yeah.
Noses at any angle. So I don't know. It's hard to say, but yeah. I don't like. So that's just. I don't like his current stuff. Neo Batman Odyssey just didn't make any sense, and I wasn't feeling the new Deadman. So I went right before this Deadman released. I talked to Neil because I always talk to him. I talked to him like 10 times. He doesn't know me, but he's always like, "Hey, you, what's up?" And so Odyssey, when he wrote that, he had a completely different ending tacked onto it. Like it's another, I think, 15 pages, but he never put it in the series. So he came out with the trade omnibus of it or whatever. That he added those 15 pages, and I guarantee if you read it, it makes a lot more sense because it blew my mind when he showed it to me at the convention.
Yeah.
Check this out. And I love the new Deadman but I'm just a Deadman fan, so I kind of biased towards that stuff, anyways.
Speaking of Deadman, that Deadman piece you did there was like, dude, that was dope as hell.
Thanks, man. That's one of the ones I'm gonna submit to DC. So, let's see. Joe says, agreed. That's my point. No hate the expressions, but I love that he did for comics. I just expressions are believable, wonky, but the guy's a legend for a reason. I mean, if you say so, Joe. This is your show. This is your thing. I'm not trying to get banned from Comics Cast.
Hey, let me ask you this. Are you like you're not a big art guy collector, are you? Or are you just like more of a comics collector?
I have some art, not like intense. Like I don't have any like original pages or anything like that.
Okay, if you could get one commission completely free, like full on commission from any artist that you love, who would you choose?
Like a full 11x17, like
A full 11x17, full body background from any artist, who would you choose?
Dang. Dude, that's a hard question, man. Probably Bill Sienkiewicz. I mean, seeing as he's one of them, or Sandwich, however you say it. How do you say it, Sylvester? Sandwich. He said say it like sandwich.
Sandwich?
Yeah, I don't know. He was one of my biggest inspirations as a kid. So probably Bill Sienkiewicz.
Yeah. What about you, Shower? Or is that
Todd McFarlane for sure.
Dude, that would be cool too. That would be cool too, man.
No.
Are you gonna watch, Shiler? Are you gonna watch the documentary that he has?
I'm sure
I'll watch that. No.
I'll be watching it live.
Yeah, because he was on a ESPN documentary too for having like a big baseball collection also.
Yeah, I like to watch. Whenever I catch him, I watch him. But,
yeah, dude, he's pretty awesome, man.
Yeah.
Toddy.
For me, with all honesty, it would probably have to come down to, as much as I love Jim Lee, as much as I love Todd Knock, I gotta get something. I want to get something from Mark Brooks. Like I know that flash I showed you was like, it's like it was a $50 sketch, but like something that's like a full on rendered piece.
Dude,
him, it would be like incredible.
Sir Lester says John Buscema or Tom Palmer. Those are good ones.
Number 7's good.
Are you talking about living or dead artists? That's the question.
Yeah.
Well, we should. I think it's more like about the living artists.
Living artists, yeah.
But I feel like there's someone out in the world who would like obviously love something from Michael Turner because like the first comic book I ever got was the one that he illustrated for Batman and Superman Public Enemy
Oh
that
yeah.
inspired that movie. But yeah, I love Michael Turner's work. His work is really it's amazing. But yeah.
Joe says I get the piece from the painter. What's that guy's name? I can't think of it.
Alex Ross.
There's a lot of what's his name?
Greg Hildebrand.
Huh?
Greg Hildebrand. The guy who
No.
paints.
Oh, Felipe Masafiera. That dude's cold, man.
Oh, yo.
That dude is cold, man.
Dude,
That dude's cold.
I know.
George Perez, Alan Davis. Alan Davis would be a good one.
Alex Ross. It was Alex Ross.
Yeah, Alex Ross.
Yeah,
Alex Ross, that would be a good one too.
yeah. George Perez is one of like the coolest people on the planet. Like that guy. Like I met him last year, and he was one of the coolest down to earth guys. And like the guy deserves to the guy deserves like a lot. It's like he's such a nice person. He met me in the last few minutes of the con. I talked to him about his inspiration for Teen Titans, and like his art and how it inspired me. Like it was amazing, amazing.
Phil says he would get it either from Simon Beasley. Oh, that's cold, man. That's a good one too. Sam Keith or Todd McFarlane.
It'd be cool to have a Sam Keith, I think.
Sam Keith, yeah, he was cool at a con.
When he does his original, he'll put like buttons and stuff on there.
Yeah,
Like how?
Sirius Griffin says, I just learned how to pronounce it. Gouache, like squash. The
Yeah.
paint Alex uses.
yeah.
Yeah, he uses. I think he uses a mix of watercolor and gouache, because you can tell by the paintings that he does.
I think he used to use some oils too, but because of deadlines, I mean, they take too fast to dry. Oils take forever to dry, man. That was like one of the that almost turned me off of art because that was like the first thing my dad taught me how to do was paint with oils, and I hated it. I was like, you gotta mix this paint thinner with it. You gotta wait for it to dry. You gotta, oh, dude, yeah, it was terrible.
When I first did oil paints in high school, and we had to do like a piece like which I wish I could go back and redo and like not do it as it shows, but because like the oil, you had like a I don't know, a 5-step process that we had to do. You had to clean out your brushes, and then you had to put them in the brush tube, and then you had to get the paint. You had to put it onto your like little palette, right? And then you'd have to take your little cleaning jar, which was what's that liquid that people use, Camisole or something like that.
Yeah.
That you use, and then it was a whole process because like you had to dip it in one, and then you had to like paint, and then you had to afterwards you had to like wash it up again before you
So Lester says, I agree with you all. Favorite image artist with best personality, Todd McFarlane.
Love that guy. He's amazing.
Pretty cool. I haven't met him yet, but I did get stuff. I was more the only thing I really from image I was like I did was Spawn, Wildcats. I watched the Savage Dragon cartoon, but I wasn't into like Eric Larson stuff.
Wait, when you see Wildcats, you mean like as in like the comic Wildcats or the actual character Wildcats?
The Wildcats, the comic.
Oh.
I got all the little action figures up here on my wall.
Here's a question I want to bring up. This goes for you guys and for everybody in the chat. Um, if you could spend a day with one artist and learn from them, who would you choose? Dead or alive? There you go. Specifically, dead or alive.
Dang.
That would be a comic book artist.
Yeah, because if it's any artist, dude, Da Vinci or like Michelangelo, like easy.
Sorry, I meant like let me be more specific. Like comic book artist.
Okay. Dang, man. Well, dang.
For me, it would be Greg Capullo.
Greg Capullo?
Yeah.
That's
He
a good
actually
one.
gave me some advice once, and it straightened up my artwork quite a bit. So,
I feel like Brian Stelfreeze gives really good instruction, and I feel like he would be a testament to it. But there's Mobius, maybe. I mean, he was cold. Neil Adams knows how to tell a story and knows how to draw. Dang, there's a lot. Probably one of those two. For me though, like to sit and learn and just to watch, and just be Jack Kirby, man.
Dude, I knew you would just
don't even want to learn nothing. Just want to sit there and just draw for me. Draw for me, slave. Like that's just what I would want so bad, man. Jack Kirby.
you'd just pull out a wand, wave it over the paper. You'd be done.
Yeah, dude. Oh my god. All the stories. Like I tried, smoking a cigar and drawing. I want her. This dude's sitting there smoking, doing 15 pages a night. Like, God, Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
Let's see. Phil says Frazetta. Yeah.
All right, man. Take care, Joe.
Yeah, Joe's out. Thanks. So Lester says John Buscema again. Started learning from Bern Hogarth. Yeah. Yeah, man. Art also too. Another one, Bernie Wrightson, man. Like
Bernie Wrightson. Yeah.
Right, Bernie Wrightson. Just so I can give up. Just like then watch there and just be like, dude, I have a couple of his artworks. I don't even look at them because I did get depressed. I don't even look at them.
For me, with all due respect, I kind of gotta give it, like, as much as I love all those comic book artists that I said before, it would probably be Carl Kapinski, because his style is like it's so clean, though, because like it's just it's amazing, and it's like drawing with like a brush pen and then doing all those details and all that stuff is just amazing.
I think that's what's beautiful about comics, man. Is there's just, I mean, you look at all these different artists, Walt Simonson.
Yeah.
I don't know. He posted a Thor image the other day and was like, "Yeah, I did all this in brush, and I was brush with a brush." And I was like, "What?" And then I think, who is it? Like Mitch Gerard or somebody asked him, like, "How'd you get those straight lines?" He's like, "Oh, I have this tool that I use that I put a quarter against or something and like drag the brush and it gives the brush." I'm like, "Oh my God, like what?" Like, so I think everybody has, something to when it comes to comics to take from and you can draw like them or whatever, but
yeah.
There's just so many, man. I can't choose. I being around comics as a kid, looking through books and seeing all the different art styles, the colors, the characters. It's just, I pulled from everything. So,
yeah. It's just one of those, like, you look up to so many people that have, like, what's that thing that like everybody knows, and like the skills that they have, that developed and that they've like put to use. Like you just like it's so fascinating and it's just
Oh yeah.
people want to know how you do it.
To me, it definitely like fuels the fire.
Yeah.
For me, the way I'm like, I want to be at that level. But
It's all about the work.
so let's just say, so exercise, bring lights in, or first palmer roots to Williamson breathing. Yeah. Somebody, it's funny because I'm like, you guys follow on Facebook that sketch price, art price collection, where people post what they got from somebody and how much it costs and things. And I just thought it was funny that somebody was trying to like drag Joe Summers to about information, and I'm just like nobody's ever gonna order from him again because of this bad experience. I just thought it was kind of funny.
Well, it's late here. It's currently 1. Okay.
I'm gonna take off. So it's been fun. Same. Night.
Peace.
Peace.